The world can be categorized into two types of individuals: those who manage stress effectively and go on to lead fulfilling lives, and those who struggle with stress and feel like failures throughout their lives. The positive aspect is that I created these categories myself. They aren't scientifically validated. However, I spent a significant part of my life believing that I belonged to the latter group. My name is Elsa Smith, a life strategist with a focus on trauma, and today I will share with you how to eliminate procrastination once and for all. For as long as I can remember, I have struggled with procrastination, often leaving tasks until the very last moment. I consistently felt inadequate and believed that everything was more challenging for me compared to others. To keep up with the seemingly successful individuals, I felt I needed to exert more effort and be better, which was overwhelming. Today, I want to reveal the deeper truth behind your procrastination, which might not be what you expect. It originates in your mind. You might think that procrastination isn't a significant issue because you eventually complete your tasks just as I did. I was a high achiever, but the relentless pressure to be better than my perceived capabilities made me feel suffocated. As a coping mechanism, I procrastinated because, quite frankly, who wants to start something that feels painful and overwhelming just before a deadline? However, what I failed to recognize was that my negative self-talk and bad habits pointed to something far more troubling, something that threatened to undermine all my hard work. The very emotions and thoughts that made me feel inferior also led me into a toxic relationship that damaged my sense of self. I found myself entangled with someone who confirmed my feelings of inadequacy, leading me to believe I had to earn my self-worth. It left me emotionally devastated, almost losing my identity entirely. Today, we are going to take procrastination seriously. It was the early warning sign I overlooked at the time. But procrastination is a defense mechanism that your brain activates automatically. We will address these signals and explore how to overcome procrastination so that you can stop struggling and truly reach your highest potential. We now understand that procrastination, negative self-talk, and difficulty managing stress can stem from past trauma. When discussing trauma, many people envision significant events like wars or natural disasters, or perhaps even something seemingly trivial like a bad haircut in childhood. These events are what we classify as big T trauma, major incidents that should never happen to anyone. However, lesser-known forms of trauma exist, known as little t trauma, which can also cause substantial emotional turmoil, such as bullying or losing a pet. After a decade of training in trauma and helping clients heal, I've discovered a more insidious type of trauma that most people aren't aware they're experiencing. I refer to it as tiny t trauma. This consists of small, unmet needs during childhood that lead your brain to form negative beliefs about yourself. Examples include only receiving praise when you excelled, or witnessing caregivers who worked excessively without taking breaks. It's important to understand that your brain's reaction to trauma, whether it's big, little, or tiny, is the same. It creates distinct coping mechanisms for survival, with procrastination being one of them. Raise your hand if you've ever thought you performed better under stress. Yes, I did too. We often believe that we can get things done when we're under pressure. But here's the catch. You're not meant to rely on procrastination as a long-term solution. It should only be a last-minute boost of energy to get tasks done. Let's talk about the brain. The right hemisphere is primal, focused on keeping you alive, while the left hemisphere handles logic and complex decision-making. During emergencies, your right brain takes charge and prioritizes survival over rational thought. This means that when you procrastinate, your brain triggers survival instincts, leading you to find absurd excuses to avoid tasks you dread. Procrastination becomes a tool for your survival brain to protect you from feeling like a failure. Imagine you're racing and tripping over your shoelaces. Would your solution be to keep Band-Aids handy for the falls? No, you tie your shoes before the race. Procrastination is merely a temporary fix that makes you feel secure, but it won't help you win in the long run. Why do we choose this quick fix instead of addressing the underlying issues? Fear. Fear of failure, judgment, or even success. Visualize your fears as a violent storm on the ocean. Procrastination is the safe harbor that shields you from perceived pain. The real solution, tying your shoelaces, lies in calming your nervous system to feel secure as you face challenges. Now take a moment to envision your future. What if you could manage your time better, feel rested, and direct your energy towards overcoming emergencies rather than succumbing to the procrastination cycle? Consider the story of my client Francesca, who excelled at work but struggled to leave on time due to procrastination. After exploring her past, we discovered she resisted structure and authority, a reflection of her childhood, where she felt pressured to be more organized. This conflict between her free-spirited nature and childhood expectations contributed to her procrastination. Let's look at Amani, who wanted to renovate her kitchen but put off the project for years. She believed she was poor at time management, but upon investigation, we found she felt compelled to plan every detail perfectly before starting, stemming from childhood experiences where she felt inadequate compared to her peers. What if we all recognized our tiny T traumas, ceased procrastination, and began to perform at our highest potential? Is it even achievable? Absolutely, we can overcome this automatic response. While you may still complete tasks last minute, doing so will only utilize part of your brain. When stressed, your right brain dominates, sidelining your left brain's reasoning. In the short term, you can regain balance through deep breathing and nervous system regulation. Over time, however, you can rewire those negative beliefs and eliminate procrastination entirely. Once Francesca and Amani identified their tiny T traumas, they rewired their negative beliefs. Francesca is now punctual and has even earned a promotion, while Amani finally got her kitchen and left her stressful job for one she loves. Now that you understand how procrastination may stem from past traumas and that overcoming this can elevate your performance, it's time to learn a technique that will help create safety for your brain. Are you ready? Let's activate the vagus nerve, responsible for calming your brain. Rub your hands together, place them on your cheeks and neck with gentle pressure, and take a deep breath. This simple exercise calms your nervous system, sending safety signals to your survival brain. Cross your arms, squeeze your shoulders, and breathe deeply again. This is an effective way to bypass your coping mechanisms. Whenever fear, anxiety, or doubts arise, practice this exercise to work through your tiny T trauma and leave procrastination behind for good. I can assure you from my experience that embracing this process is incredibly rewarding, revealing the immense potential for self-love within us. Now go out and unleash your highest potential upon the world. Let them know you're coming. Thank you.